Morning, y'all. It's Tuesday morning, and first off, I would like to thank everyone for such a fantastic debate. I reckon out of all my videos, that's probably some of the best comments I've ever seen. Like literally some of the best rounded, thoughtful, both sides, some people seeing it from both sides, set of comments I think I've ever seen on any video. Really impressed. Well done us. Salted caramel this morning. So today I've got a couple of phone calls this morning, editing to do, and at the moment it seems like it's golf iron review time. I've got that review to do, that one, and still to finish that one. I mean, there's like so many new irons on the way. So in today's video, I'm actually off to Dawlish this afternoon testing some irons. I'm testing the TaylorMade actually, the ones that were out ages ago. We just never had any samples. They wanted me to do the review, I think, in Orlando, but I didn't want to do it in their range. I'd quite like to try and take it on the course as much as I can. So I'm going to go and play with them this afternoon, which will be fun. And we're also going to do a good old-fashioned golf swing today. See if we can help someone with their swing, give you some more ideas on how I look at swings and things you can learn and can't learn from pictures as well. So it should be an all-round fun day. So yesterday's question, does golf on TV shift the needle? Very mixed response. Most people thinking it does in some way. Coughing fit. You right there? Yeah. I think it does. If it increases participation, again, goes back to my yesterday's discussion, it probably doesn't. And if it doesn't, why are we wasting our time with that as a medium? That's still my kind of question. Maybe just to fill some people's pockets. So today's question, you ready for today's question, Orla? She's ready. When buying a new set of irons, what do you look for? Looks, feel, distance, height, spin, combination of. What are you looking for in a new set of irons? What are you looking for in a new set of irons, Orla? Fluffy unicorns?
No.
Today's swing, we're going to look at some confusing angles. Now, if this is functional, I don't mind what angles you create, but often when I see players like this, is they struggle to understand what angles they're creating, and then in turn how that relates to maybe poor shots. So we see the player aiming feet this way, but hips and shoulders look to contradict that position with the feet. We also then see a takeaway where he tends to point the club a little bit up to the sky. He does actually recover this at the top, so the face isn't particularly lofted massively at the top. He seems to recover it quite well here. But then on the downswing has this desire to swing very much left of his feet line, so path of the club wanting to go more where that ball's going almost, it feels like, to maybe even slightly left of it. So it's the contradiction of feet, shoulders, hips and path, then in turn with the takeaway. So we're just going to try and maybe pull this player back or get them to understand some of the contradictions they've got and then try and move them to see if it improves their shots. Alright, let's get to Dawlish and test some golf clubs. Hello Dawlish. In the sun. Lovely, lovely. So first idea is reference all your lines. I use my lines to help me understand where my path should feel in relationship to them. So if we take the cut lines on this tee, for instance, so I can see the grass cut lines. Let's say I wanted to aim along the lines of the tee. I'm going to get my feet, so the front part of my feet, knees, hips, shoulders, all feeling parallel to them. And then if I want my path to stay near zero, I'm going to feel that I'm kind of swinging along those lines in my head. Obviously there's curves as you're turning and the club's coming in, back out and back in. There's ups and downs, I know all that, but in my head I'm feeling along those lines. Now in contrast, pin's on the left here, so I'm going to go across these lines. So in my head I'm drawing my own imaginary lines, but I'm referencing them still to these cut lines. Now you could put clubs on the floor to help you with this when you practice, can't do it in competition. Biggest problem for me that I would like to start with you to try and understand, I'm not sure if you're aware that your feet are pointing, say, way right of these cut lines, but then your shoulders and hips are along these cut lines, and then in turn your path looks like it's left. It's all these contradictions that we need to either assess if they're helping you or not. So we would try another way and see if that makes you better. If it doesn't, we'll stay with your way, the way you're doing it. Because I can show you many world-class players who have aimed and shoulders and takeaways have gone in funny positions but can make it functional for them. I would guess for you this isn't helping because I don't think you would, I'm guessing that you wouldn't know where all these lines are, but you need to start trying to get them all a bit more in sync. Pin in the left, I'm going to point my face towards that pin because I get quite a straight shot in my head here. I'm going to aim across the lines with my feet, body, And then I'm going to swing along these imaginary lines in my head that I've set up. And that's kind of left of the pin on the green. Not a bad shot. Understanding the lines you create is the first port of call for you to either understanding if you need to improve or not. So for me, I think it's always important when you change people's ideas of setup that you keep reminding yourself, certainly while you're changing, of a position A and a position B, with the idea of getting from A to B. So what I mean is do one maybe with someone stood behind you, where your feet and shoulders and hips are all kind of along the same lines. You'll relate to them what that feels like. So say it to them, that feels like your feet are aiming way left, those kind of things. Then do another shot where you want to do your way, just to kind of get the feeling of where way left feeling feels, which is actually where you want it to be, arguably, compared to where you want it to feel. Because if you practice this enough, at some point you're going to overdo it. You're going to end up aiming left, and you need to find out when that point was, how long it took, how hard you had to work, how far left did you have to feel for that to happen, for you to become a better learner in the future, for you to be able to fix this quicker in the future. So again, I would do one in A, so where I feel like it's aiming way left compared to your feet way right, where to me I feel like my shoulders and hips aren't aligned, but someone assures me they are, or you can put lines on the ground. And then I'll do one again with B to get that contrast. That constant reminder is what's going to remind you how important it is that you understand your learning processes as much as it is that you learn how to do it correct. So many golfers rely purely on just giving them information and then they just run with it. Best students, the best learners, often those ones who go away and then come back with their solutions. God, Mark, that was a great lesson last week, and now what I'm doing is I just feel like I'm aiming way left and my shots are loads better. And then they come back because they're actually starting to hit some way left. And we find out that they've overdone it and we pull them back. So it's their constant questioning and ideas that really excites them, excites me as a coach, and I see people just learn so much quicker that way. That was a lot of fun. Blooming hungry now though. I'm eating ham. I would normally put it in a sandwich, but I'm just starving, so I'm eating ham.
Let's answer your questions.
Hey Mark, question for you. Do you think it's possible to play too much golf? And what I mean is, like for instance, my weekly schedule would be play Monday, range Tuesday, play Wednesday, range Thursday, play Friday, Saturday. Cool. And then recover on Sunday. Now obviously it'll be different for different skill levels and what you're trying to do, but do you think that is like a pretty good schedule, or am I just kind of overworking it? Thanks, man. Cheers, bro.
That's a fantastic schedule. I mean, that's a lot of golf, and good on you. I mean, I used to play that amount when I was younger. It's about the passion. If that passion and desire is there, then just play and enjoy your life around golf and in general as much as possible. I'm enjoying this ham. It's when it becomes a chore, when it becomes, oh, I have to go and play golf again, that's when you need to really think about if you're doing enough or too much. And then sometimes, as long as it's not sacrificing other things in your life, which then could compromise your enjoyment later on. But certainly that amount of golf is great if you've got that commitment and drive to do that. I would love to do that, but I can't play like that because I've got a job that doesn't allow that, which is funny even though I'm in golf, because obviously these videos have to be edited and so on and so forth. And I think it's important as well to take a bit of time off sometimes. It's like when it is a holiday time and you're away from golf, get away from golf. Don't follow it on there, don't do stuff, you know, have a break and go back a bit fresher. But can you play too much golf? Yes and no, so person specific, but with your schedule and what sounds like a passion there, keep going for it. And then the last way I'd like you to think about this, before we even touch takeaways, which would be another lesson, because we'd have to see how exactly this setup changes the playing field, if you like, before we attack that. This bag's still not unpacked from Iceland. I was only home one day and then had to go to America. It's about using lines that you'll find around your house, even without a golf club, and using them to help you get a feel of where each part of your body is. So this bench, if I was say laying the table, I might get my feet up against it, hips, knees and hips, even my shoulders feeling like they're all in line with it. And then, well, at the same time, again, I would remind myself of what your feeling is more. So knees, hips, this kind of here with feet pointing way off to the right. And obviously these lines are everywhere. I can use the tiles in my floor, edge of the steps, doormat, the door thresholds. For people who want to really improve and challenge their ideas of these kind of angles and setup, the answers are everywhere for you. Again, it's about challenging yourself. Am I right? Am I doing this the best way? And then practicing some other ways. These ways, certainly the indoor training as much as the outdoor, can really make a difference. When I was younger, playing golf all the time, the biggest difference I always found was how much I was thinking about golf during and off course, as much as just going to the range and practicing mindlessly all the time. Obviously now as an adult with a family, I can't get to the course nowhere near as much as I used to, which is why I don't try and compete anymore. And I certainly don't have time to think about golf even much between filming sessions, which then makes me move my golf just for fun. But if I was serious about improving, I'd be doing it on and off. It becomes my whole day life activities. Not saying you need to do that, but you could certainly put a bit more time to these kind of ideas on and off the course. I think it would improve so many golfers. Thanks all for watching. See y'all all tomorrow. I'm off to go and get something to make for tea. As always, hit that comment section up down below. Hit the thumbs up button as well. And don't be afraid to subscribe to the channel. There's more daily vlogs coming. We have a lot of reviews coming soon as well. Iceland videos start. Well, you've probably already watched part 1. It started earlier at 7 o'clock. Go and check it out. What a place to play golf. See you tomorrow.